Hi everybody, how are you today? It is Tuesday and it is absolutely gorgeous outside. I am excited to be here with you tonight for a live that's at a special time, just kind of because of how my day went today. So my name is Kathy Furman. I am owner and founder of Furman Creative, where we help small businesses find success online in a world that is dominated by corporations, and we just really believe wholeheartedly in small businesses and their importance in our community. So the past couple of weeks, let's talk about that. I have been volunteering in my son's first grade classroom as a junior achievement volunteer. And when I first signed up, I absolutely had no idea what I was signing up for. I'd never done it before. And then I got this kit in the mail and I started to go through it, and I realized that it was a gift. Like this 5-week lessons, I got to go in 5 times. This everything that was in this bag was just a gift to me, because I actually got to go and teach first graders about entrepreneurship, about business, about neighborhoods, about communities, and about the importance of starting a business. And it's something I'm so passionate about that it was just absolutely, like, I was so excited. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, because I finished my 5th lesson today, and I have a lot of things to share that I've learned from the first graders over the past few weeks. So if you are watching, or if you're watching this on a replay, say hi below. I want to reach out and thank you. And I totally appreciate replay viewers and my live viewers. Comment below and let me know where you are watching from, and let me know how your day's going. So hopefully it's been amazing so far. So one of the beautiful thing about Junior Achievement is that they take something, a concept that's kind of big, and they break it down into these layers, and they layer information on top of one another in a way that kids can really easily understand. And that is exactly what they did with this lesson I got to teach. We started week 1 and we talked about neighborhoods and what we can do to make our neighborhoods a better place. And then week 2, we talked, about needs and wants. And week 3, we talked about different businesses in the community and, what they offer. Do they fulfill a need or a want? Are they a good or a service? In week 4, we talked about entrepreneurship. And then today we talked about advertising. So it was so amazing to watch all of this information just layer on top of one another. And something you would think would be just this really big concept for 6 and 7-year-olds to understand and to grasp, they got it. And it was awesome. It was so awesome to watch. So I wrote down, I always have my notes here. I wrote down some of the best lessons that they taught me in these past 5 weeks and how you can apply them to your business. So hopefully you find them to be helpful. So lesson number 1, they are sponges of information. They listen to everything you say, and week after week I would say, do you remember what we've talked about so far? And their hands would go up and they would just remember all of the words, all of the concepts. They could tell me the difference between a want and a need and goods and services weeks later. And I was just baffled by that, because I think, here I am spending 30 minutes a week just chatting with them about something that I'm extremely passionate about. They have no need to remember, but they do. And I think as adults, sometimes we forget that it's important to just soak all of that information in. We get to this point in our careers or in our life and we think we have nothing left to learn. And so not true. We have everything to learn. And if we would just slow down and listen to the lessons that are in front of us, we could learn so much. We could create the life that we dream about creating, because sometimes the answers are right in front of us. So just watching them soak up all of that information is just absolutely amazing. It was so wonderful to see. Lesson number 2, sometimes you just need to go back to the basics. If you're struggling or you're questioning why, or if you're struggling getting customers in the door, or with struggling finding new customers, or with sales, or go back to the basics and answer this question: why did you start your business? What need or want were you trying to fulfill? What problem were you trying to solve in your customers' lives? Because that's where you should start. And if you've lost track of that at any point in your journey, and you're getting so focused and so caught up in the everyday work and the everyday grind of keeping your business afloat, a lot of times you're working so much in it, you're not working on it. And your original mission is gone, your original vision is gone, because you get to this point where you're desperate to find customers and you're willing to give anything a shot, even if it doesn't follow your initial plan, even if it doesn't match what your business motto is. So it's so important. They taught me that, going through these basic concepts that I've known for how many years, and it's like, oh yeah, this is really important, because you're not just starting a business to make money. I mean, ultimately that's your goal, but you have to have a reason for starting a business. What need or want are you looking to fulfill in your customers' lives? Hi, Julia. Thanks for joining us tonight. And I just think that sometimes you get so caught up in the day-to-day, you're so involved in everything you're doing, that original idea, the original problem you were trying to solve, is easily forgotten. And every decision that you make when you're not focused on your original why can really just hurt your business instead of help it. So that was lesson number 2 that they taught me. So lesson number 3, today we talked about advertising. And advertising is something I'm definitely passionate about. There's always this debate whether advertising and marketing are the same. They're not, but they do go, hand in hand, and they can be used to really complement one another. I mean, you need marketing and advertising. You need advertising to make marketing successful. So what do they teach me about advertising? We had this week where we had to go over different business symbols, and they were to answer, what they thought that those business symbols stood for. So it was kind of amazing to see, one symbol was a person reading a book, and one of the children in the class answered library, and another one said, no, it's a bookstore. And the same thing can happen, I think, with the grocery store one, with the food. One person said restaurant, one person said grocery store. And I think that sometimes, it kind of just, it was like an aha moment, I guess you'll say. I guess that's okay to say. That depending on what your branding is, you could be confusing your customers. And you may look at your logo or your brand or your message and think, oh, I've got this. This is going to work. This is exactly, what it is that I want to portray. But then your customer that you're trying to attract to your business looks at it and says, that has nothing to do with me. And it's just because you use 2 different viewpoints, multiple different viewpoints technically can look at one image, one brand, one logo, and they can think that it's something completely different than what your intentions were. So, before you brand, before you put a message out, if a strategy is new, ask for help, ask for feedback, ask for opinions to make sure that what you're trying to portray is what you're actually going to portray. So lesson number 3, who would have thought, these first graders are pretty smart. Let's see, lesson number 4, this is a fun one. Entrepreneur and advertising, they're hard words. Let's just say that. So it took us a couple weeks to get the hang of that entrepreneur word, but they've got it now. They're experts. They're never going to forget that word. So that was my lesson number 4. Let's see, lesson number 5. I learned in probably week 2 that we make owning a business and running a business look really easy, because I asked the kids if they thought that was an easy job to start a business, or if it was really difficult, and I was completely amazed that half the kids said it would be really easy. So we must be doing something right if we're showing that it can be done. And I'd like to think that the fact they think it was easy is because they look at the adults and the grown-ups in their lives and that are taking risks, and they kind of like, oh yeah, I could do that. So I know that's one of my big goals for my boys, is to show them that it's okay to take risks and follow your dreams no matter what they are. let's see, we did sponges, back to the basics. Another thing with advertising is, that was a big topic for us. So, you know, the next time you say that you've tried everything, that everything, you know, that you could think of, you've done, I'd say either watch this video or call me and I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. One, have you tried Facebook advertising? Have you branched out to, you know, other platforms, other social media platforms? Facebook isn't your only option anymore. There's Instagram. There are companies that are successfully marketing on Snapchat. So maybe your audience isn't here. Have you tried Pinterest marketing? Have you tried Pinterest ads? Have you tried Google, you know, clicks, I'm losing my train of thought, pay-per-clicks, and you know, Google ads. So there's just so many different options. And today I taught first graders about the yellow book, about the phone book, and it was hilarious because most of them had no idea what I was talking about. And one person raised their hand and said that they did have a phone book at home, but when I was, you know, when I was growing up and my dad owned his own business, that's where he advertised, was in the merchandiser and in the phone book. So sometimes you just have to kind of, you know, branch out of what you're comfortable or familiar with and try new avenues, because times are changing. And if you're still placing an ad in the yellow book, we definitely need to chat. So yeah. My very last lesson is, my very last lesson that I learned today is don't say, this is a good one, don't tell them you have a treat for them unless it's candy. Because I brought stickers and said I have a treat for you, and the disappointment that came with not having candy, so was awful. I felt so awful. So anyways, that's my last fun lesson for you. Okay, let's see. Do we have a comment here, Julia? On behalf of the business and economics teachers who might teach these first graders someday in high school, I thank you for everything you've done. Oh, thank you, Julia. It was so much fun. It was so amazing. I honestly, when it first started, I thought, how are you going to teach first graders about entrepreneurship? But it was so great. I loved every minute of it. So thanks so much. So those are my lessons. I hope you find them helpful. Let me know which lesson is your favorite in the comments below. And I will be back tomorrow with another live video and another fun topic. And thanks so much for watching. I appreciate all of you. Whether you watch live or on the replay, you're all amazing. Thanks so much.